On the workforce point, the press has been so focused on weaving the narrative that AI could potentially lead to mass displacement of labor and mass unemployment. Could you help paint a picture a little bit about what your prediction is for the impact of AI on the job market, but also more specifically on what you see as the potentially new categories of jobs that we're potentially not even thinking about today that could actually come into being?
New jobs will be created. Some jobs will be lost. Every job will be changed. Okay, so let's just break it down. It's always easy to go to one extreme from another, but I always find it helpful when you break the problem down, reason about it from its first principles. And again, in this framework that I just described, at the lowest layer, as you know, and Jacob, you're deeply integrated into venture investment, and you know what's going on in AI. And you know at the foundational layer, it's because of AI that San Francisco is back. Okay, anybody who lives in San Francisco, you'll know what I'm talking about. Just about everybody evacuated San Francisco. Now it's thriving again. It's all because of AI. And AI creates a new type of job, and the fundamental reason is because it's software development, but done in a different way. We've changed every layer of the technology as a result of AI. What used to be human-coded software running on CPUs are now machine learning-generated software running on GPUs. And so every single layer, the tooling of it, the compilers of it, the methodology of it, the way you collect data, curate data, use AI to guardrails, use AI to teach, use AI to keep the AI safe. All of that technology is being invented right now, and it creates tons of jobs. At the next layer, this is where the giant opportunity is. Remember, I just said that we're going to create a new type of factory, and this factory has electricity come in, and it generates tokens out. A 1 gigawatt factory, let me just put it, 1 gigawatt factory, and we're in the horizon building something like 7, 8, 10 gigawatts of AI factories. 1 gigawatt factory is $60 billion. $60 billion for 1 gigawatt. 100 megawatt factories is pretty commodity now, it's pretty commonplace, and so you just divide that by 10. But $60 billion is the annual, one factory is the annual revenues of Boeing. And to build it, you have to finance it, creates a lot of jobs. You have to build out the site, the shell, creates a bunch of jobs, construction. You got carpenters, you got steel workers, you got masons. You got to build out that factory. $60 billion factory. This thing is gigantic. You have to have mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, plumbers, and then after that, all the low voltage stuff, all the IT and the networking. After that, operations. That entire cycle is about 3 years. A whole bunch of new trade jobs have to be created. These trade jobs, in the last computer industry, the last computing platform shift, the number one critical path for most companies' growth is software engineers. This next layer, AI factories, the number one is going to be trades, the trade craft. And I think this is terrific. Our country needs to acknowledge that tradecraft is respectable work, and it's critical work, and it's necessary to build a country. And so we want to encourage tradecraft, electricians, plumbers, carpenters, steel workers, the whole span of it. We're going to need a whole bunch. And then now, above that is when we can start talking about how are these AI agents going to change the work of doctors or financial service professionals or customer care. Or in our company, just as a starting point, every single software engineer is now assisted by AI assistants. And the amount of code that we check into the company is incredible. As a result, our productivity has shot up through the roof, and we're hiring more people because it enabled us to create more things that the world desires. It increases our revenues and increases our ability to hire. And so I think that layer above really wants to engage AI as early as you can. Remember, it's not AI that's going to take your job. It's not AI that's going to, destroy your company. It's the company and the person who uses AI that's going to take your job. And so that's, something to internalize.
There's been such a huge amount of focus lately on bringing manufacturing back. A lot of people in the AI space have talked about the concept of how digital twins and manufacturing plants adopting digital twins could actually help enable rebooting manufacturing here. And simultaneously, the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, recently said that one of the main bottlenecks to reshoring and making the iPhone here was having a good and precise robotic arm technology. So on both counts, it really seems like AI could be an enabling technology for manufacturing and reshoring. Could you tell us a little bit more about what your prognosis is on that?
Yeah, well, first of all, manufacturing is not about low-cost labor. Advanced manufacturing today is software. The entire factory is software-driven. The entire factory is one giant robot, and it's a robot orchestrating a whole bunch of robots inside. And so these advanced factories has a lot of people in it, but it's largely technology. And so I think the first part of it is in our industry, and I'll just talk about mine, the ability for us to manufacture end-to-end from silicon to the AI supercomputers here onshore is a terrific opportunity. And I'm delighted that the administration is really encouraging and supporting the industry to onshore manufacturing. This is high quality work. It's advanced technology work. Doing it onshore is a fantastic opportunity for the country, and I'm very enthusiastic about it. We're huge proponents of it, and we're fortunate that we have partners around the world who are supporting us to do that. That's number one. Second, if we don't get good at manufacturing, we're going to leave behind a giant industry that is going to be propelled by the availability of energy. What country doesn't want to get engaged in this new industry called AI? Why would you not want to produce AI? Why would you not want to engage in one of the most advanced manufacturing? It's manufacturing. It just happens to be numbers when it's done. And just like it was electrons at the last industrial revolution, most people couldn't understand that you could create this thing through a machinery called dynamo. Now we call it, Nvidia AI supercomputers. But back then, a dynamo, what came out of it was invisible. It's electricity. Don't touch it, but it's electricity. It's electrons. And now, it's a new form of electrons. It's numbers. And so, of course, we want to engage in this new industry. And in order to do that, we have to have manufacturing onshore. Now, the thing that is absolutely the case, because manufacturing is so technology intensive, we should do it in a digital twin first. We should do it in virtual reality first. Nvidia designs the most complex systems in the world. Each one of our generation R&D, call it $20 billion, maybe more now, but call it $20 billion of R&D just to produce a family of chips. We designed those chips completely in their digital twin. They existed for months and months and months, long before we ever produced it. The moment I produced it, I know it to be perfect. I know it because we've simulated it, exhaustively, and we emulated it, and we put it into its paces. We should do the same with digital factories. These factories, large factories, we should completely create digital twins, use artificial intelligence to create these digital twins, operate it, virtual integration, integrate these magnificent structures completely digitally, operate it, optimize it, and use it for planning your output completely digitally. And in the future, every factory will have a digital twin version. In the future, and I'm hoping every human will have a digital twin version. Every car has a digital twin version. Every building has a digital twin version. Every city has a digital twin version. So this idea of digital twins is happening now, and it's all happening because of artificial intelligence.